Hey, you guys. For those of you who are new to the channel, I'm Shamika Smith, also known as Dr. Soul. And what I do is I'm a paradigm shifter. I take you from one paradigm into another, okay? So when you're wanting to change and manifest things in your life and shift into another life experience, I'm the lady that helps you do that, okay? One thing that I wanted to talk about is something that comes up a lot, okay? I get people, asking me about this all the time, and it's typically people who have dealt with narcissistic or abusive people, and then they start wondering, am I the narcissist? Okay? Because they're starting to see themselves doing behaviors and having perceptions that they did not have before. And they start to wonder, like, am I a narcissist? Here's some things you have to understand about that, okay? That question typically comes up, well, where I'm getting it from, okay? Where it's being presented to me. It's always been somebody who is dealing with or has dealt with a lot of narcissistic abuse and just abuse in general. In some type of way, every time it's somebody who has been abused. And 90% of the time, they've been dealing with some type of narcissistic type of abuse or emotional abuse. And so what you have to recognize is that abuse wears down your empathy towards the abuser and sometimes others over time. Now, this doesn't make you a narcissist, but you have to understand that abuse can change you over time. It wears down your level of empathy. Okay? And understand that narcissistic personality disorder is not the same thing as displaying some narcissistic traits. Okay? Those are not the same thing. So when you talk about, am I the narcissist, you're asking if you have a personality disorder. It takes a lot for you to develop a personality disorder, and a long time. So most likely that is not the case. And these behaviors are not going to be something that are going to start, happening within a short period of time. Okay? But it is natural for abuse to wear down your empathy towards that person. So you want to look at this. Are you being narcissistic, or are the abusive tendencies are they going towards the person who's abusing you? Because that's reactive abuse, okay, where you're reacting abusively to being abused. That's not the same as narcissism or, being narcissistic. It's tapping into, because we all have narcissistic traits, right? We all have parts of us and aspects of us that are narcissistic. But reactive abuse, you can't consider that to be like narcissism. So those are not the same thing. A personality disorder versus displaying some narcissistic traits are not the same thing. Another thing, if you're asking the question, am I a narcissist, or am I the narcissist in this situation? Right? Because just asking the question, am I a narcissist, most times you're not, if you're even asking the question. But you could be high in narcissistic traits. We all want to be doing, self-analysis and being aware of ourselves and self-evaluating, to check ourselves to see, how narcissistic am I? Do I have more narcissistic traits than what I am comfortable with or what I want to have? Am I becoming toxic or dysfunctional or harmful to other people? These things are important, for us to, check ourselves periodically. But if you notice that you are starting to display, because when you're asking that question, you feel like there's some traits and things that you're displaying that you don't want to display. And like I said, most of the time in these situations, we're talking about people who are dealing with narcissistic people. So if you notice that you are experiencing, like you're starting to display a lot of traits that you don't want to display, you have to recognize that you're deteriorating from being around these abusive people. So this is why it is better to get away from abusive people than to become one. Okay? Because abuse does wear down your empathy over time. It just does. Now, initially, it will wear down the empathy most times towards the people that are abusing you. But over time, it can even wear down empathy towards other people, which is what has happened to most abusers. So you have to understand that people who are abusive have typically been abused. Okay? So at one point, they didn't display those traits either. They deteriorated. Abuse is a sign of the degeneration of a person, the deterioration of a person. So you never allow people to put you in a position where you are willing to deteriorate to stay with them or to, continue a relationship with them. And you're literally willing to deteriorate in order to be that. People who are abusive have already deteriorated. And if you continue, surrounding yourself with them or being around them, you will deteriorate as well. Okay? So it's something to think about, but I've noticed, it's a question that I'm getting all the time. And I just thought it would be something to answer, something that I should address. If you're needing to shift out of the paradigm that attracts narcissists, okay, because there is a paradigm for that. There is a paradigm of, thinking, ways of thinking, ways of being, ways of operating that help make you ripe for certain types of people. Okay, be sure to go to my website, truedivinepower.com, and get on my schedule for coaching. Is definitely something I can help you with. Okay, so that's that, guys. Talk to you later. Bye.